I hope you all are doing well. So here we are today with the next topic. In the last class we have discussed about your breath, if you guys have remember, about the respiratory system, the breath connection, right? So today just a very important system also that has a very huge vast impact on your yoga practices, and not only on yoga practices, in our daily living also, since we have born till we die, right? Everybody feels hunger, isn't it? Everybody feels hungry when they are conscious, when they are working, or when they are laying down, when they are playing, when they are dancing. The hunger is the thing that we could not suppress it. We could not take it away from our body. So, as you all know, when I'm talking about the hunger, the system name is, yes, you guys right, digestive system. The food everybody needs. Everybody needs foods nowadays, yes or no? So guys, in the yoga studies, it has written over there, the food until your taste buds are not satisfied. Your taste buds are not satisfied, you cannot focus on your practices. The type of food, the quality of the food, the season of the food, what we are eating, when we are eating, and how we are eating has an important concept of this food processing studies in relation to the digestive system. So this food has its own amazing journey and digestive system has its own journey. But they combine together, they work together and give us a good effect. A good effect means a good nutrition. But that nutrition depends upon what quality of food we are eating according to my body type. People have a different body types. People have a different types of digestions. So until my taste buds are not satisfied, if I'm not getting my food which I'm willing to, and you ask me to talk that focus on the meditation, very difficult for me because my taste buds are not satisfied. If I have a hunger for 4 chapatis or 4 breads, if you're giving me a 1, then my hunger is not satisfied. We don't say that, so we don't say that, guys, that we have to eat with the full stomach. 50% food, 25% water, and 25% empty, as the rule said, right? So never try to get the food completely to fill your stomach fully, no. Then there is no space. You feel heaviness. Food takes long time to digest. We have to create some space for digestive juices, digestive enzymes, and other stuff also. So, when I'm talking about the digestive system, why do we eat food every day? This is the first question. People say, I feel hungry. Everybody feels hungry. But what is the need? Maybe some of you knows that, yes, it's right. The food we eat for nutrition, for energy. The type of different energies, the type of nutrition, carbohydrates, vitamins, minerals, proteins, lipids that we needed in our body, but in balance, right? But in a balance, not an out of balance. When it comes into the out of balance, that time the starting of the diseases has been formed to your body. So when I'm talking about the digestive system, that the relation of this digestive system So digestive system, in simple way, yes, you know guys that the digestive system as a function is digestion, as the name explain itself. But in little bit detail, in the layman language, if we take the food converts into energy, right? So in the layman term, if I talk about the food converts into the energy. So that's why there is a need to eat the food. If you don't eat the food for 4 days, 3 days, next day the body feel no energy is there, I could not walk, I could not sit. So food doesn't mean that we need a solid food. We need a nutrition. Maybe it is in the liquid form, maybe it is in the semi-liquid form. Now the question arises, there's that we call about system. So system, how does it form? Different organs. So in this system also, there is a different organs that combines to form the digestive system. So digestion, from where it begins, when you take the food, you eat, right? You take it here. So the first, you take it to the mouth. So food has its own impact. So how much time you take to eat the food? Tell me honestly. Nowadays this is the problem, guys. We don't have a time to eat the food. Oh, I am getting late. Oh, I am busy. Are you that much busy that you don't have a time to eat the food properly? You're earning a money, you're spending a time to your job, sometimes you do overwork, but that much is the problem that you are that much busy that you don't have a time. You don't have a 10 minutes to eat the food. In the 24 hours, if you're working for 12 hours, 10 hours, still there is 14 hours, my dear friends. So 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes. Not possible to take 30 minutes from those 14 hours if you take 6 or 7 hours sleep. In those left 7 hours, you don't have a 30 minutes for yourself that you can spend quality of time with your food. Yes, in the books, and I have personally experienced, this is the type of meditation too. People has a problem nowadays in digestion. Gastritis, ulcers. That is the most common reason when you are not connected with your food too. And the type of food which you are eating. You are getting late to the office, just you are doing and go. No chewing is happening properly. How you can digest the food in your stomach? And when you connect with your food, you can feel what I am eating. Just close your eyes and focus on your food. No talking while you are eating. There is no conversation. Just eat into the silence. Just try to do it for today. Right? Try to do it from today and you feel the difference. Your digestion becomes better. You feel less relaxation on your jaw muscles. 32 times it tells that one bite has to be eaten or chewed 32 times. But I'm not saying 32 times, just do it for 20 times and feel the difference, my dear friends. That how you are eating, the pattern. In India, here we eat with the hands. The reason behind that, what the feel, sense, this the sense organs that connects how we eat, we feel what I am eating. There is a connection from the sense organ, the sensory receptors, it takes from the body to the brain and feel inside your mouth, yes, I am eating a piece of rice. I am eating a cauliflower. Just take this experience, take this experiment with you, and if you eat with the spoon, you feel how much saliva is releasing. Is it releasing more? Is it releasing less? That's the problem too. Mostly nowadays you are stressed. So these muscles, your teeth are always clenched like this. So these muscles over-engage, less blood flow and less release of saliva. So everyday practice for 2 minutes. Massage this part. Release and release and release before eating the food. 10 minutes before, and feel that how much saliva is releasing, which is helpful for the digestion too. So these are the simple changes that you have to introduce in your activity of daily life, and you have to share with others too, so they can also feel the difference. So let's proceed for the organs of the digestive system. So as we have discussed mouth, the first one is the mouth. So inside the mouth, so many components. We have a teeth, we have a tongue, we have a saliva, we have a salivary glands. So teeth, people ask you that chew the food properly, chew it properly, chew it properly. What's the reason behind it? People ask you to chew the food properly because, guys, as you chew it properly, as you break down the food into the smaller pieces, then the stomach has to function less harder to digest the food. And it is under our control. That is, we call the mechanical digestion. Right? This is under our control, that we call the mechanical digestion. So that's why we ask, chew it properly. Isn't it in our control? But we don't have a time nowadays. We are so much busy. We cannot chew the food properly. We always push the stomach. You have to do it. You is my organ. You have to do it. Why I have to? That's the problem. If we chew it properly, if we spend some time while we are eating, bring the attention, awareness, consciousness to that part, feel the difference. So teeth has a function, it cut the food and grind the food. Cut and grinding. Cut and grinding. Tongue, yes, it is for the taste and for the movement of the food. Right? It is responsible for the taste, and because we have a taste buds inside the tongue, so it is for the taste and movement of the food. So tongue has a function, taste and movement. Saliva. Saliva is for the lubrication. It lubricates the food so that it will be easy to swallow. So it gives some lubrication. The next come to the salivary glands. So the function of the salivary gland that are situated inside your mouth. So this gland has a function. Gland is an organ which produces secretion. Right? So gland, the function of the salivary gland, it releases the enzyme. That name is amylase. It releases the enzyme, the name is amylase, which is responsible for the breakdown of carbohydrate, that is starch. So that's why we call that the digestion begins from the mouth. Digestion only not in the stomach, not in the pancreas, not in other structure. The digestion begins from the mouth. So if we say salivary glands releases enzyme amylase, responsible for the production of, not for the production, responsible for the breakdown. Breakdown of carbohydrates, that is your starch. So these are the functions of the structure which is present around the mouth, which is present inside the mouth. Teeth that cut and grinding, tongue, taste and movement, saliva gives you the lubrication, salivary glands releases the enzyme, amylase responsible for the breakdown of carbohydrates, that is your carbs. I hope this makes a little bit sense for you guys. Come to the next organ. The next organ we talk about the esophagus, that is your food pipe. So the esophagus, food pipe. Now you chew the food properly, right? So after chewing the food properly, saliva moves it, salivary gland break down the carbohydrates what we have eaten before. Movement now. The next component is the movement. How it moves. By which passageway it moves to the stomach. So that is the next is your stomach. Before stomach, esophagus, the food pipe. So the function of the food pipe, it brings the food, right? It brings the food from throat to the stomach using the muscle movement called peristalsis. So it brings the food from throat to the stomach using muscle movement called peristalsis. So the peristalsis, if I'm talking about what does this peristalsis means, now the next question arises in your mind, what does it mean? What does this mean, peristalsis? The new term for you, maybe. So peristalsis, what is this? We know esophagus is the function, bring the food from throat to the stomach using muscle movement called peristalsis, but what does this peristalsis do? Simple guys, peristalsis means as you swallow the food, so if I ask you to stop the food here, then it comes to the stomach. Possible? Not possible. So peristalsis means it is the automatic or the involuntary contraction of the muscles. Right? Automatic or involuntary contraction of the muscles which is not under our control. It is a reflex. Right? It is a reflex as a newborn child has born. It already knows how to suck the nipple. Same thing, it reflexes has been developed slowly with the time. So here is the reflex too. As you swallow the food, automatic contraction, involuntary reflex is there, and the food goes to the stomach. Sometimes what you feel here, that some acid is moving, what do you say? My heart is burning, heartburn. So sometimes acid from the stomach gets here in. The acid from the stomach gets here in the esophagus, and that time you say heartburn, acid reflux, gastritis. So why does it happen? There are so many reasons about it. The first reason, when you skip or when you get a good long time in between the two meals. Suppose you have a breakfast, you had a breakfast at 8 and you're doing lunch at 3. So in between that, there is no food, no liquid, nothing. So stomach releases the acid because the acid needs the food. What you said, the fire, and that fire needs the food to diminish it. Sometimes the reason is when you are eating some more oily food, more deep fried, more the food which has more cholesterol, that time it happens too. Sometimes there is a one sphincter is there, cardiac sphincter, that is connect to the esophagus. Sometimes it get loosened. It doesn't work properly. So as the food goes, it doesn't close, the acid moves up and down. So there are n number of reasons for that. So that's why we say stick to your meal times. In between, say, take something liquid, semi-liquid, so you can sublime or diminish that fire, get it off easily. So after the stomach, before the stomach, this is the esophagus. After the esophagus, the next organ is the stomach, that is your food tank. The stomach, which we call the food tank. So with the food pipe, so the esophagus in the stomach, it is a J-shaped organ, mostly situated on your left side from the center. So the function of the stomach, basically, it breaks down the food into more smaller pieces. Now you can connect. If you are not chewing it properly, guys, it has to function more harder to break down. And acid inside the stomach, that helps to kill the bacteria too. So many chemical reactions. The chemical reaction which break down the food with the help of digestive enzyme, with the catalyst, digestive juices are there, that takes place inside the stomach. So stomach, if I'm talking about, so it breaks down the food into more smaller pieces. And acid in the stomach helps to kills the bacteria. So that's why we ask that if you are chewing it properly in your mouth, the stomach has to function less harder. And acid has a good quality also, that it helps to kill the bacteria with the various resistant power. And so many chemical reactions that takes place inside the stomach to break down the food and get a good nutrition from it to pass the whole body. So now we know that the food is digested, maybe partially or completely, I don't know, it depends upon the person to person. But in a general view, in a general mechanism, the food digested inside the stomach in a maximum proportion. So now what we need nutrition from the food. Right? Food is digested inside your stomach by various chemical reaction with the help of enzymes and catalysts and the digestive juices. Now what we need the nutrition, the energy. So for the nutrition, the next organ which we say small intestine. right? What we say? The small intestine. It is a horse coil shaped organ, right? The horse coil shaped organ, if we open it, it is more longer than the large intestine, but when it is coiled, it is we call the small intestine. So the small intestine, through the small intestinal blood vessels, the food or the nutrition after digestion that comes delivers to the whole body, to the cells, to the tissues. This is the place, the small intestine is the place. We'll say that this is the site or the place which is responsible for the maximum absorption of the food. This is the site or the place which is responsible for the maximum absorption of the food. So maximum absorption of the food takes place inside your small intestine. So what it absorbs, right? What it absorbs, mostly it absorbs 99.9% of the things here, or 90% of the things here. So site or a place, the site which is responsible for the maximum absorption of food. So what does it absorb? It absorbs %80 of ingested water, vitamins, minerals, carbohydrates, proteins, and lipids. That is your fat. So it absorbs 80% of ingested water, vitamins, minerals, carbohydrates, proteins, and lipids, that is your fat. So that's why we say that the site which is responsible for the maximum absorption of food also secretes some digestive enzymes. So it also secretes digestive enzymes from here to other part of the body for digestion. So this is the function of the small intestine. After that, we come to the next one that we call the large one. The large intestine. So the large intestine, guys, you can now easily connect whatever is left that doesn't absorb by the small intestine, that is absorbed by the large intestine. So whatever is left as absorbed by large intestine. And this is also responsible for the bacterial fermentation. So it ferments the bacteria here, the good bacteria, which can fight with some kind of imbalances or the diseases. So the good bacteria is there, which it ferments in the large intestine. And whatever is left is absorbed by the large intestine. So whatever is left which is not absorbed by your small one, it has been absorbed by your large intestine. So these what we have discussed right now, these are the main organs. Right? These are the main organs of the digestive system. Whatever we have discussed about the mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine. So these are all the part of the main organs of your digestive system. So these organs through which the food has been passed. These are the path of the food. Right? These are the path of the food from where the food has been delivered. And it has passed through the various pathways. But there are some other organs. Right? These are the main organs which we have discussed. But there are some other organs which are not the path of the food. If I ask you, is your food goes to the liver? Yes, no? No. But liver has an important function in your digestive system. Is your food goes to the pancreas? No. But it has an important function in your digestive system. So there are some accessory organs. Right? There are some accessory organs which are not the part of the path of the food, but they play an important role in the digestive system. So these accessory organs are as follows. So accessory organs which are not the path of the food. So these accessory organs are as follows. Liver, gallbladder, and pancreas. These are the three main organs of accessory organs that comes under the accessory. If you come to the functioning of the liver, guys, as we know, yes, it purifies our blood also. It is a part of excretory organ too. But what is the main function here in relation to the digestive system? If you have heard about the bile, the word bile, there's juice, the greenish yellow color juice that is secreted inside your liver. So the liver produces the bile. The main function of the liver, it produces bile. And bile helps to digest the food, to digest the fat. So liver produces the bile, and bile helps to digest the fat. So when the liver is not functioning properly, person who has some imbalances like liver cirrhosis, liver failure, or with the chronic drinkers, you have seen, in the layman term we say fatty liver. So this fatty liver comes from the word, when liver is not producing the enough bile, so if enough bile is not producing, the fat is not digested properly and livers become more fatty. As we know that it filters out the toxins. In specific type of medicine, if I talk about specific type of medicines, why you guys always take care of yourself when you are in a pain with the less painkillers? You always avoid, I don't have to take too much painkillers, because there is a side effect. The food which you are eating, this is also made up of the chemicals. So some chemical is there, and in the pills also there is a chemical. So if you are taking the extra chemical, so liver has to function more harder to filter the toxins from the blood. So that's why in some medicine it is always prescribed overdoses has an adverse effect on your liver and kidneys. Both are an excretory organ which purifies your blood too. So that's why we avoid more painkillers, more antibiotics. This is the reason behind that. So another function of the liver, it filters out the toxins including drugs and alcohol. Right? It filters out the toxins including drugs and alcohol. Drugs and alcohol. So these are the functions of the liver. It produces bile. Bile helps to digest the fat and filters out toxin including drugs and alcohol. The next organ which we discuss now, gallbladder. It is a small pear-shaped organ that is situated just below the liver, right? The small pear-shaped organ that is situated just below the liver. So this is the liver and this is the pear-shaped organ. That is your gallbladder. So gallbladder, the function of the gallbladder, it is connected to the liver just beneath. So it recycles the excess bile which is produced by the liver. So one function is recycle the excess bile and fatty diets can cause gallstones. So to recycle the excess bile which is produced by the liver, and the fatty diets can cause the gallstones because excess bile we needed. If you're taking an extra fat, there is a chemical reaction that can be not taken place easily in a way so that small there might be chances, depends upon the size, that it can the whole gallbladder out. And then the patient has some type of digestion issues too, the type of food they have to eat. So the next organ which will come to the due to genetic, sometimes balance in your diets. As you know, it produces the hormone. It releases the hormone insulin. To regulate blood sugar. More amount of glucose delivers. So that's why we take an insulin. Sometimes we have seen in the more diabetic issues where so it secretes the digestive enzymes to the stomach. It cannot produce the hormone insulin in a enough manner. Then in the body, more glucose travels. Now we come to the next topic. Mechanical excretion. So these are the 5 phases of the digestion. How does the digestion takes? Then it mixes by the tongue, lubricated by the saliva and form a bolus. Before to swallow, esophagus, the food pipe, then the movement, it brings the food from throat. Mechanical digestion takes place inside your mouth, the teeth. Chemical digestion takes place inside your stomach by the various chemical reactions in the form of catalyst with the help of digested now. What we need? Nutrition. So the absorption has been takes place inside the small intestine. So that is the site which absorbs the maximum food. And whatever is left has been absorbed by this large intestine. So guys, excreted out in the form of feces. So these are the 5 phases of digestion. How does the digestion takes place? Ingestion, movement, mechanical digestion, chemical digestion, absorption and excretion. What are the effects of yogic practices? Why we are doing asanas? Why I'm doing different type of practices? How does it affect my digestive system? So the benefits or the effects of yogic practices on digestive system. On digestive system. The poses has also its impact. I'm doing so as we are going for the forward bending guys, backward bending, so different